Hi everyone, I am Dr. Harveer Singh. I have 16 years of full-time industry experience in the software industry and 3 years of independent consulting experience. I have a PhD degree in business strategy and I am a certified PECB certified ISO 42001 and ISO 27001 lead auditor trainer. And today we will be talking about a very interesting exercise in the ISO 42001 training and certification angle. So we will identify the AI risks in organizational systems, right? So, if we are going through the ISO IEC 42001 lead auditor training and certification course, it is equally important for us, or if we are doing a consulting, or if we are teaching or training, it is extremely important for us to conduct certain exercises. If we do hands-on exercises, we are more stronger auditors. We are more confident auditors. We are able to link the theory with the practice, with the application, right? So today we will be identifying the AI risks in organizational systems as an exercise, right? But what are the objectives of this exercise? The objective of this exercise for you guys, the participants, are number one, recognize potential risks associated with the AI system. Because tomorrow you guys will be the lead auditors. You will be the auditors and you will be auditing the AIMS, the AI management systems, right? So you should have a very strong knack, ability to recognize the potential risks associated with the AI system. You should also understand how AI risks impact the organizational decisions. And you should also develop the risk awareness from the AI governance angle, from the AI governance perspective. Because you will be talking to many people with your client, within your organization, with your peer leaders, with your peer auditors, right? So sometimes we have to convince a lot of things with the concrete evidences, with the data, right? So we have this scenario here. We have to go through this scenario and we will work on this scenario and finally we will be able to identify the risks, right? What is the scenario for this exercise? This is as follows. An organization deploys an AI-based recruitment screening system to automatically evaluate the job applicants and shortlist candidates. So this is the AIMS. The purpose of the AIMS here is that it is a recruitment screening system to automatically evaluate the job applications and shortlist candidates. In the typical EU AI Act, if you recall the EU AI Act, this could be a high risk system, right? This could be a high risk system. So the system analyzes resumes, candidate profiles, and historical hiring data. And participants will analyze the potential AI risks associated with this system, right? What are the inputs to this AI system? What are the inputs to this recruitment screening system? There are three inputs. The first input is the candidate resume. The second input is the candidate profile and the historical hiring data from the organization, right? So that is the background. Now the background is set for this exercise. Let's move on, right? Let's talk about the scenario. So a multinational organization uses an AI-powered recruitment tool to screen the job applicants. As simple as that, very simple. Now there are some system descriptions, system functions which are given. Some key details of this recruitment system are clearly defined. Let's go through these key details. Because based upon these details, we will evaluate the discussion questions, right? So this particular AI system, this particular recruitment system analyzes the candidate resumes. All right, wonderful. It ranks the candidates using machine learning algorithms. Okay, that's a very important point to consider. It also recommends the top candidates to the HR managers. Got it. Perfect. Wonderful. The model has been trained using historical recruitment data for the past 10 years. Very, very important. Past 10 years. The organization relies heavily on the AI system and support the hiring decisions. Now, organization is very, very dependent on this system. Please note this point as well. Okay, all set. What are the questions to talk about? What potential risks or concerns may arise from using this AI system? That is a question for you guys, because you guys are doing this exercise with me, right? So what potential risks or concerns may arise from using this AI system? Now, you guys have to consider the risks related to fairness, transparency, reliability, and governance, right? So what we will do in the real training circumstance, we will divide the candidates. For example, there are 12 candidates. We will divide these 12 candidates into maybe 3 groups, 4 candidates each, and you will be going to your own group and have the discussion. I will give you half an hour or 45 minutes or 15 minutes or 20 minutes. You will come back to the main room, and then each of the group have a representative. That representative will talk about the answer to their responses for this particular discussion question, right? Okay. Now, as you identify your potential AI risks, you guys have to identify at least 3 to 5 potential risks related to this particular recruitment AI system. The risk could be the bias risk. For example, historical hiring data may contain biases that influence the AI decisions. That could be a possibility, of course. Why this could be a possibility? You remember we talked that the system is considering 10 years old data. So if you give this point to me, I will think, oh my God, 10 years data means that it is giving a very, very old data. So the world has changed. The circumstances of the recruitment might have changed. The technologies have changed. The profiles have changed. The way any organization used to recruit people 10 years ago and the way the same organization is recruiting today, there might be some significant changes. So if this organization is giving 10 years old kind of a data, then there might be a bias. We are not sure, but there might be a possibility of the bias because the business circumstances do change, and that too for 10 years. So there is a possibility. Not sure, we don't have any surety, but there is a possibility. Then we talk about the data quality risk, right? Now, they just have the dump of the recruitment data for the past 10 years. 10 years ago, there was no AI system. Now the technical people went to these HR guys and asked them to give the data. They have just given the old data. They have compiled the data, added in the Excel sheet, and then they have just given the Excel sheet or handed over the data to them. Now this data, whether it is of good quality, bad quality, any data is missing, any data is correlational, relational, or what all things, there could be n number of things that are there, right? So of course, this is a very important hint for you to understand and at least think about the data quality issues. From the auditor angle, you should think about these things. You are not a technical guy here. You are not an AI developer. But from your auditor mind, you have to think about these things. What about the transparency risk? The AI system may not clearly explain how it ranks the candidates. It's a big concern. If I am the auditor there, it's a big concern for me because the logic is not transparent. Few of the candidates who are not selected, not shortlisted, might raise a concern, and it might tarnish the image of the organization in the entire world. That this large organization uses a flawed AI system for the recruitment. And this organization don't want to get into that situation. So there could be a transparency risk possibly. Finally, there may be an accountability risk. We don't know, there may be the accountability risk, where the responsibility for the AI decisions are unclear. because it just happened in 6 months. It just happened in 5 to 6 months that this organization has created the AI team. The AI team went to the HR team, get the data, and then ran the model, created the model, and then they have deployed the model to production. So everything happened so fast that who is accountable for what is not clear to them. That might be the possibility, right? So this kind of exercise would be very helpful for you. If you go through that exercise, you will apply your auditor brain. You will create many possibilities, many directions you will think along. And you will gradually become an expert auditor. Not an expert, I would not say an expert, but a good auditor for sure. Because it's about how you acknowledge certain things, how you evaluate certain things in your brain, how you process certain conditions, certain real life business conditions in your brain. That is what matters, right? What are the key learnings from this exercise? As you will do the exercise and come back in the main room and we will have the discussion, what are your key learnings? You will talk about the training data quality. You will talk about the bias and fairness. You will talk about the trust and transparency. These are key issues in the AI systems, which an auditor has to be very aware of. And your key takeaways. An effective AI governance requires the organization to identify the early risks. That will be your very important key takeaway. They have to implement the appropriate controls. Now you might have identified these risks and categorized. These are certain challenges in the training data side. These are certain challenges in the bias and fairness side. These are certain challenges in the trust and transparency side. So now, as an auditor, what will you do? What will you do? You will tell your client to implement the appropriate controls. Now it's up to them to implement the controls. You are not doing a consulting here. You are an independent auditor. So you are not a consultant here. So they have to think by their own. You are there just to give them the reality, a reality check, right? And monitor the AI system performance continuously. It's not the end of your responsibility as a client if you have put your recruitment system into the production. No, it's not the end of the game. Many times the real game starts at that point only, right? Because the system is now in the real world. So how it is performing, what biases, what transparency and trust issues are there, whether you are getting what you were expecting or not, right? All those things have to be evaluated. So these are the key takeaways from that exercise, right? Hope you enjoyed this exercise and hope you have learned something out of that, right? So stay tuned, keep learning and keep rocking. Thank you for your time.